Welcome, friends. We're going to do a little restorative practice for this evening. And you can do this anytime, but it's a nice start to your weekend to have some quiet time and to let go of all of the busyness from the day and from the week. So, if you're ready to get started, I've grabbed a few props here. So, I have a bolster and a meditation cushion under that. You can grab some cushions off the couch or pillows off the bed, whatever you have handy, or a big pile of blankets, that works too. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come into our first pose. And we're going to have a short practice here because we're going to have quality time. So we're going to relax quickly and thoroughly, and let's get started with our first position. So I have the bolster right up against my lower back, and I'm just going to roll back onto the bolster. And I've put some blankets on the top because I know from experience that it's going to be more comfortable on my head. So a couple of different things you can do if you have blocks or extra blankets. You can rest your arms. If you have shorter arms, that might be more comfortable. And then you can have your legs out straight, or you can bend at the knees if that's more comfortable. I'm actually going to go even proppier here. We're going to put a blanket rolled up under the knees. All right, so getting into this position. You can exhale out through the mouth and just let go of the whole day. And we'll be here for a few minutes. So if you need to adjust anything, go ahead and do that. Maybe you're not centered or it's too high or too low. Go ahead and get that right where you need it. And then we're going to let go of everything for our first pose here. We're not going to think about breathing. We're not going to think about thoughts. If something does pop into your mind, accept it, acknowledge it, and then let it move on. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Coming into relaxation. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just sitting in this comfortable position, letting the breath come and go naturally. If you find yourself distracted, just bring your attention to your breath. Maybe just that little tip of the nose. So you are welcome to stay here and rest for a little bit longer, or even if you want, pause the video and stay here as long as you need. And I'm going to start to come out very slowly and very carefully. So the first thing I'm going to do is move the blanket out from under my knees. Bring the feet into the mat, and I'm going to do just real small windshield wipers with the knees. And then pause the knees. Then I'm just going to roll the head side to side. And the next thing I do is bring a little bit more breath in here. So I'm going to bring my hands to the heart. Inhale, arms open. Exhale, arms come back to the heart. Again, inhale, opening. Expanding, feeling that spaciousness all around you. Exhale, bring that love all back into the heart. Inhale, letting go of tension, stress, anything that's bothering you. Exhale, we're going to gather up all that love, bring it right into the heart. One more breath. Inhale, open. Beautiful spaciousness. Exhale, bring that love right back in. Beautiful. All right, so let's come up to our next pose. So coming up slowly and carefully. And for our next pose, we're going to come into a supported bridge pose. So I'm going to get that set up and show you what that looks like. Again, I'm going to use got lots of stuff here to move about. All right, so I'm going to get bolster. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to have this to the side. I'm going to come up into bridge pose, slide the bolster under, and then rest on that. All right, so coming down into the bridge pose, coming down onto your back, and then feet come down onto the mat. And we're going to push in with the feet, lift the hips up with an inhale, and then bringing the bolster under, and then moving everything out of the way. So my arms are out on either side, and I'm going to rest here in this position for a little bit before I add on. So I'm actually going to grab this blanket here for under my head. The floor is a little hard and a little cold. So a little blanket under, it's flat. It's not curled up anywhere. And then I'm just going to line my feet and my knees up with the hips. If it feels more comfortable for you to bring the knees in towards each other, that's fine. Straight or in would probably be best. So I have my palms up, but you might feel more comfortable with your palms facing the floor to feel more grounded. Palms open for receiving energy. And once you've kind of adjusted to where you need to be, I'm going to come into rest. So any last little wiggles out, and then start to let go of the breath. Letting go of thoughts. Letting go of how this pose is supposed to look or supposed to feel, and just melt into it. If you start to get bothered by thoughts again, you can use a number of options. to let those thoughts be still. And they won't stop completely, and that's okay. We don't want them to stop. We just want them to not bother us. How about that? So one way that you might use, that you might like, is imagining that your mind is this great big blue sky. A little thought pops up, and that's on a cloud. You just kind of put the thought on the cloud and just let the cloud drift across the sky and letting it go. And if another comes up, put it on the cloud and let it go. Knowing that the clouds will just gently move along. Now, if you're comfortable in this bridge pose and you want to stay just like that, you're welcome to do that. The other option is to extend the legs out. So if you're sitting a lot today, this is going to give you a bit of stretch here in those front hip flexors. If that's too much, bring the feet back to the mat. But if that's comfortable, you're welcome to do that. Not out just yet. So if this is comfortable with the legs extended, you can do that. Otherwise, keep the feet in the mat. And just let the body melt into the earth. And letting go of the breath, letting go of any thoughts. Let go of even holding on to the earth. Let gravity hold you to the earth. There's no work involved here. We're going to slowly start to make our way out of this pose. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you've extended your legs, we're going to bring feet back into the mat. And let's pay attention to the breath here. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Bringing the feet closer in, and then on your next inhale, we're going to lift from the hips so we can slide any props out of the way. And then coming down nice and slow with the exhale. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring the knees up towards the chest. So let's do a couple of our Apanasana or wind relieving pose. Knees come in on the exhale, knees go out on the inhale. Nice. And then let's bring the feet down to the mat. And if it feels okay, you can do those windshield wipers again. Again, just go in a couple inches either side. Very nice. And then we're going to make our way up to seated. And then we're going to go full forward from here. So we're going to come into a forward fold. All right, so let's get comfortable with this. So in yin, they call this caterpillar. So we're just going to fold over. So I have this big fat bolster here. And I'm going to take a couple of blankets too, because I haven't done this in a while. So I have some tight hamstrings here. So to get comfortable, I'm going to bring my arms up on the front. And you can use blocks. If you're folding forward and this is where you're headed, you can rest your head on a block or whatever's comfortable. All right, so I'm just going to go like this and bring my hands here. And then with a couple exhales, make my way down to resting on the blanket here. So I'm going to inhale and then exhale. Inhale and exhale. And do one more. Make it all the way down. Inhale and exhale. As you get more comfortable into this pose, you might find yourself going deeper and deeper with each relaxing breath. Just let yourself melt into this pose. This is also a good pose to bring attention to that back part breathing. See if you can feel the back of the body expand when you inhale and then collapse when you exhale. If you can't, that's okay. It's hard to do that sometimes when you can't see the body part, but just imagine as you're breathing that the back ribs are opening and moving. And after you try it a couple times, you might actually feel it working. When you're ready to come out, we're going to start making our way out of this very carefully and very slowly. So the first thing you want to start doing is paying attention to the breath. So a nice inhale, exhale, and then on your next inhale, start using the hands to walk the torso back up to neutral. You might find you went a lot deeper than maybe you usually do, or maybe than you thought you were going to. All right, so we're going to come into our last pose. So it was short, so we're just going to do one more. Usually in person, we'll do this for an hour and a half and do a bunch more poses, but it just seems like the right amount of time tonight. So this is what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to grab my handy dandy yoga folding chair. If you don't have a chair, that's fine. You don't need one. If you have some cushions, you can use that, or you can use nothing and just be down flat on the floor. I'm going to grab my chair. And I'm going to set up a blanket here to do that. And then this over here, and I'll do one for the head. So we're going to come into our final relaxation pose. And I'm going to do it with my legs up on the chair. So you can do it flat on the floor. You can put your legs up on a bolster, or up on a chair, or up on the couch, or whatever you have handy if you want to do that. So those are a couple of different options if you want to try any of those. All right, so I'm going to bring my legs up here. And then head on the blanket. Fix that a little bit. Okay. So for our final pose, we want to let everything relax. And we'll do a full body walk down, relaxing each part as we go. We're going to go bottom to top. So we're going to start with the toes. Relax the toes. Relax the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees. Relax the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. Release the spine from the tailbone all the way up into the base of the skull. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Let the eyes be heavy and fall to the back of the head. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently bringing your attention back into the room, wiggling your toes and fingers. Maybe roll your head side to side. You're welcome to stay here longer. Turn off the video and get ready for bed if you want. Or if you're ready to come up and out, you're going to slowly roll over onto one side or the other. And then when you're ready, using the upper arm to push up to a comfortable seated position. And I wish you a very restful and restorative rest of your evening or rest of your day. If you're doing this earlier in the day, that's fine too. It's wonderful. Thank you for joining me, and namaste.